Hey there, this is Mr. Wilford, and I wanted to just go through section 5 of chapter 3 with you, linear equations in 3 dimensions. Um, if you think back to some of the things that we've been doing in other sections and chapters, we've been pretty much dealing with just two-dimensional graphs. When we talked about equations, we have an x and a y. Well, what we do now in this section is we introduce 3 dimensions, and so instead of talking about an xy axis where we're talking about just an area, we now add another coordinate and we have a space that we're talking about, coordinate space. And instead of talking about a point x comma y, we're now talking about something called an ordered triple, where we have an x, y, and a z. And so um, we have a new coordinate system that we need to try to draw out on a two-dimensional computer screen or piece of paper or whatever you're working on. This can be kind of difficult to see at times, so let's take a look at the new coordinate system here. And what you have to imagine is this right here is the origin, and they kind of change things up on us a little bit so that now coming out at us, this is actually coming out of the computer screen as the x-axis. This is the positive x-axis. This would be the negative x-axis. Going to the right is now the y-axis, positive. Going to the left is negative y. And going up, this is our new axis here, is the positive z. And going down from the origin is our negative axis, the z-axis. There are going to be a couple things that you're going to do in this section, and the first thing is you're going to graph points in 3 dimensions. And so basically you want to kind of draw this sort of sketch here where the x is kind of coming out at you, the y is going left and right, and the z is going up and down. So if you look at this first example, point A is 2, 3, negative 2. That would be this blue dotted line. The point is actually right here. So we're coming out from the origin 2 units, we're going to the right 3 units, and we're going down 2 units. And that puts us right there at point A. This point is actually sitting outside of the computer screen as you're looking at it. Point B then is negative 1, so we're going back on the x. 1 positive to the right, and 2 up here would be point B. And then finally point C, negative 3, so we're going into the computer screen back 3 units. We're going to the left 3 units, and then 0, so we're not going up or down, we're just sitting right there. So you kind of just have to draw the best graph that you can there. It's a little bit tricky. The next thing that we want to be able to do is graph a plane. You're going to be given an equation with 3 variables, x, y, and z, and what you want to be able to do is draw your 3-dimensional coordinate system again. And what we're going to look for here are simply the x, y, and z intercepts to graph this plane. If you notice here, we're plugging 0 in for y and z. So we're taking 3x equal to 12 and solving for x is 4. So we come out 4 on the x-axis and put a point. Then to find the y-intercept, we plug 0 in for x and z, and we solve for y. Y is 3. So we go from the origin to the right 3 units. And then to find the z-intercept, we plug in 0 for x and y, and we solve for z, which would be 6. So we go up 6 units there. And this little triangle kind of indicates our plane in space. So I draw kind of dotted lines along those 3 points, and you can kind of shade in the triangle a little bit, and that indicates the plane. Alright, well, here are your 2 sets of problems where you're graphing a point in 3 dimensions and a 3-dimensional plane. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.